Hi everyone, thank you very much for attending my talk. My name is Rosanna Bellini and I'm here to present this work on behalf of my collaborators. To see a reduction in domestic violence, we need to work directly with those perpetrating it to help them change their behaviours. And one area that's been quite optimistic is that of domestic violence perpetrator programmes. These are group programmes that seek to re-educate perpetrators on their use of harmful behaviours. This particular study builds on our prior work on how to design these systems to be compatible with these goals and programmes. However, there's a risk in the reuptake of these abusive behaviours when these programs end from the loss of these positive pro-social relationships that form during the process. And many HCI scholars performed a lot of research into peer support networks that aim to mitigate this problem in other contexts. But the risk of peer support networks, if they go unmoderated, can reinforce these harmful behaviours. This is particularly acute with perpetrators who may collude with each other. So frequently, synchronous communication isn't a financially viable or a safe option. In this work, we asked, in collaboration with our charity partners, how can peer support between perpetrators be facilitated without the use of live or direct synchronous communication? Our paper's contributions are that we examine what helps or hinders peer exchange for perpetrators of domestic violence. We discuss the deployment of a bespoke digital service for delivering asynchronous messages of support. And we also consider how tangible artefacts can help navigate these ethical and organizational challenges around support and communication for this group. For this presentation, I'll look at the third in detail. So what did we do? We conducted 5 design workshops with 10 perpetrators enrolled on a programme that were coming to the end of their time together to design together a socio-digital system called Fragments of the Past, which we deployed with them to elicit important moments of reflection and guidance on their behaviour change journey, before sharing these anonymously with a set of 8 perpetrators who had just started the behaviour change process, who could use the system to replay these reflections. So Fragments of the Past is a digital system that connects physical artefacts with an audio description through an RFID sticker. And our participants in the first group wanted a way of sharing important aspects of change, or what they called fragments of themselves, using craft materials and photography across important moments of a behaviour change programme. Here is a sample of some of the fragments they shared about themselves. They selected 5 important stages of change, as shown here, which each included evidence that behaviour change was possible. These also challenged false narratives about what the programmes were for, and they also acted as a way of explaining complex thoughts and feelings across their behaviour change journey. So the analysis that you see here is extracted from some higher level visual grounded theory, and the themes are fully discussed in the paper. I and my charitable partner then shared these fragments to a set of new starters to a programme, which was a group of 8 men who were unknown to the first group, in a structured reflection where they could play back these reflections and look through the fragments at their own pace. And we found that even though they couldn't have direct communication with the first group, many peer receivers shared that they felt connected to the men in the fragments and were very appreciative of the guidance. And we show in our paper that the process of listening and commenting on the first group fragments be very motivational and encouraging for the men in the second group. And some of them even imagined their own speculative process moving through the behaviour change journey. So for example, from this quote, someone is positioning themselves as peers in the future for the next batch of guys. And these findings really point to the fact that our system was able to capture both a representation of change for the provider and also provide a motivation for change for the receiver. And we're really excited in how we might pay explicit attention to how these relational and communicative dynamics can play out in digital artifacts, where synchronous communication is inaccessible. Once again, this is one of our 3 contributions that we make. We go into more detail in the design of the fragments of the past in the paper, and also consider what role asynchronous peer support networks might play in behaviour change programmes. But for now, thank you very much to all of our collaborators and our participants for making this possible, our reviewers for helping improve the quality of this piece, and our Shepherd for helping us navigate the ethical complexities. Thank you very much for listening. I'm ready to take on some questions, and do feel free to get in touch.